Man. At least it's a PB, but god damn, dude. This first act is giving me so much shit. And it's just a stupid situation again where it's just the fact that this is the 1,000 mark really that's pushing me forward still. I honestly feel like I should have pushed for that last act upper bound. I don't think I would have got it, especially with that phrase 2 whammy, but I should have at least tried a little more, I guess. Baby steps. You fucker. You fucking dickhead. Oh, fuck yourself. Fuck. God, I hate everything so much. Yep. Just the impossible task. Yeah. Whammy just wasn't quite there. God, this is fucking brutal, man. You stupid motherfucker. Fuck this song, man. It's not even close. Like, whoa. Oh my fucking god. Just don't get it, dude. I just can't force my stupid fucking fingers to do it. I don't get it, man. That seemed like good Whammy. It seemed like a good front end. I just do not fucking know at this point. Just impossible. This is motherfucking impossible. I don't know how I'm still not getting this act. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh my fucking god!
in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Ride the tiger, you can see his strength, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away, hold it diver. Shiny diamonds, like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away, get away. Between the velvet light, there's a truth that's hard as steel. Yeah, the vision never dies, like some never-ending wheel. Say, hold it there. You're the star of the masquerade. No need to look so afraid. Jump, jump on the tiger. You can feel his heart, but you know he's free. Some light can never be seen. Yeah. You've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Ride the tiger. You can see his strength, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Get away, gotta get away, get away. Hold it, diver, soul survivor. You're the one who's clean. Roll it, diver, roll it, diver. You're the captain blue coming after you. Roll it, diver, roll it, diver. All right, get away, get away, get away. Hold it, diver, hold it, diver.
Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Yes! It's fucking over! Fuck! Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. That was not even a notable percentage of the energy that I want to release right now. But I would scar my vocal cords. Mother of fuck. It's finally over. 342K. I'm free. There is nothing holy about this song. From the choke reel, I'm sure it seems like the last act is like the hardest in the song, and it's not even close. That is by far the easiest out of the three big acts 1, 3, and 4. Act 1, I genuinely cannot even express how fucked up of an act that is. In summary, you basically have to play fucking perfectly, and even if you do, it's a coin flip. And not really a coin flip in your favor, like one of those coins where like there was an extra bit of metal on the tail side or something and it lands that side more often. I don't even want to guess how many hours I've put into this. Upwards of 30 easily over the course of the past month. This was not something I expected when I picked it up to be the magnum opus of my GH80s grind, but it absolutely is. I cannot believe there was something even worse than 17. But I mean, just the amount of last act chokes, like, it's not even close. I had like 5 last act chokes maybe in 17. I had like 20 on this song, and getting there is like just as hard, if not harder, in this song, almost completely because of that first act. But even Act 2 became a total fucking nightmare for a while. Thankfully, that subsided in the past few days of attempts, which is the only reason I was able to do this. If I was still having trouble with Act 2 in any regard, really, there's just no way this would have came together. Because, like I said, Act 1 is a complete inconsistent, just praying to God shitfest. And every time I hit it, I had nerves going. And so if I was still struggling with Act 2, the nerves after that would have made even Act 3 just like almost impossible. And then getting past Act 3, I don't know if I'd even be able to hold the guitar going into the last act. But anyway, yeah, my initial method for Act 2, it's pretty similar to the 17 first solo act, and I was having the same problem for a while of red flaming the front end. It's the same like pull off into hammer on pattern, which is just really awkward to abuse with extended hit window. And so initially I was doing the same execution that I did in 17, where I preemptively anchored the red, but I still am just not good at using that method. Majority of the time I still let off the higher fret late, and so I just miss. But thankfully I almost completely stopped red flaming that, even going back to my old method. It's not nearly as bad of a front end in this song because the speed is so much slower on the hopos. That's really what made the 17 act so difficult in that regard, is because you have to fret the blue so quickly after the front end that your brain just doesn't have time to process everything properly. Yeah, of all the acts, I mean, I guess in order of difficulty, least to most, it makes sense, but of all the acts to go into in depth, I chose Act 2. I guess from that least to most difficult trend, the last act, I was hitting a substantial percentage on failed runs. I felt pretty confident about it, which is partially why all of those last act chokes happened, because I was just a little too confident with it, a little too hesitant to really go into practice mode and grind the fuck out of that back end timing, which hardly even helped, like, in all honesty, because you just, again, you cannot simulate nerves like that, and you can't simulate anything like it in practice mode, but you just gotta do the best you can. And it's, of course, really awkward. It's, one of those tied up in the strum behind a hopo pattern, so here I do a double strum to get around that as best I can, but yeah, it just complicates everything. Overall, it's the whammy for that act that just makes it so fucking hard under pressure. Phrase 1 should be pretty straightforward, but it's not because it's so soon after the back end to Act 3, which requires full focus. The good news about that phrase 1 is that the pattern, unlike second phrase for Act 2, the solo act, where it goes green, 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 red, making it so you have to fret the red on time. You have to it just adds a layer of execution. At least on that phrase 1 for the last act, you can just hold green, red through all 3 notes. And as I've said a million times, anything that alleviates even the slightest amount of executional pressure or complication just goes such a long way in a situation like that. But executionally, the second phrase is a lot worse. At least it mimics the first phrase in the song, which you will have to practice into the fucking ground to have a chance at even getting that act a single time, let alone putting all of the squeezes together in a run for 342. But in a way that almost makes it harder, because in your brain you're just so used to missing on that front end trying to push it frame perfectly, and that just makes that second phrase terrifying to push as hard as you need to. There's also the issue of releasing one of the frets, namely the orange, which you're almost certainly going to be holding with your pinky, dropping ticks, and, importantly, star power whammy ticks. I mean, I was doing that for the longest time on the first phrase in the song, so under that pressure, I mean, your pinky literally becomes a fucking spaghetti noodle during that, so yeah, trying to hold that out all the way and still releasing it in time to not miss on the green-yellow chord while hitting that as early as possible. Yeah, the whammy for the last act just absolutely sucks under that pressure. But yeah, the back end is just so fucked up, and trying to push it under those nerves is just goddamn impossible. I mean, how many times have I said the word nerves at this point? And it's almost weird because you'd think that getting to that point so many times, you would just kind of become more desensitized and stoic, but you reach a point, there's like a threshold where that starts tipping the other way because you're just so fucking desperate to get it over with. And so that makes the nerves even worse because you're just pleading with the universe to just let it be over. So yeah, nerves really never went away or even diminished in any regard post Act 3, unfortunately. And speaking of Act 3, at the very least, the front end is executionally very generous. Unfortunately, that is a spot, mainly because I knew I had to push it so hard, where the red flaming the front end never stopped being a problem. It was almost 50-50 whether I red flamed the front end, even while very consciously trying to activate before fretting. I mean, under those nerves, it's like, again, just kind of a crapshoot trying to do a frame perfect activation like that. But the back end, I started to have more and more problems strumming it too early. I just got so fucking fed up with missing it, maybe not pushing it frame perfectly, that it just swings back the other way. That act, like Act 1, just to a much lesser extent, felt kinda random. Like, even if it felt like my whammy was basically perfect and my front end was frame perfect, I could still just miss that act. The whammy is just way more straightforward, and just as importantly, there's much less of it. But even still, the whammy is really fucking obnoxious for that act. The first problem is that, just like the first phrase for the last act, the whammy comes immediately after the second act back end. So you have to focus on fretting that green, hopefully as early as possible to ensure you get that act, and then immediately transition into that whammy without strumming it too early. Somehow, and I was just honestly kind of just waiting for this to start happening because that's generally how it goes. Somehow, I don't think I strummed that red-yellow chord early a single time in any of these attempts, even though it felt like I kept pushing it further and further and further to try to get some consistency out of Act 3. But yeah, that usually happens on everything related to tough acts, where you just won't miss on something that seems like it should be giving you a lot of problems, and then you cross the threshold where you push it too far and it breaks, and then it breaks in your muscle memory. And that becomes a whole process to re-ingrain the proper muscle memory, find the sweet spot. But even watching the runs back frame by frame, it looked like I was hitting it as early as any strum can be hit in most of the runs that I rewatched. So, long story short, I'm just really thankful that Whammy didn't start giving me problems. But the following notes after the chord are kind of annoying to optimize, not so much the red, because thankfully, due to the extended hit window change in this game where you can pre-anchor notes that you strum then fret, however you want to describe it, you can just strum near the end of that red yellow chord and then release yellow, whereas in GH2 you can't do that. You have to make sure you release the yellow before strumming. So that makes optimizing that following red sustain much easier because there is a little bit of space in between those sustains. So you basically have to hit the red early enough so that it overlaps with the chord sustain. But the much more annoying part of that phrase is the green. And if you see, I actually pre-anchor the green like halfway through the red or so I can abuse that same extended hit window strum then fret mechanic to again try to just basically make the note windows overlap with each other so you don't drop any star power. And that was pretty annoying to learn too because I was initially fretting the green too early and just cutting off the red yellow chord sustain and trying to ingrain the proper time to fret that green, not only again under the pressure, but while whamming like that. It was pretty irritating. And then again, try to get, as close to a frame perfect activation of the note as you can. So yeah, obviously just with how much I had to say about it, definitely not a free whammy phrase, but I would kill to have that kind of execution for Act 1's whammy because that first phrase is just a complete clusterfuck. Basically everything that I just described about overlapping the note windows, trying to make it just one continuous long sustain to not drop star power, all of that applies to that first act, but it is exponentially harder to optimize because it's all chords. Because basically there's no tricks around it. There's no extended hit window mechanics to abuse. You just have to fret and strum those chord transitions like frame fucking perfectly to optimize the star power. And I don't know what my post first phrase ticks were this run. If you don't drop any, you end up with 16. I don't remember if I had like 88 or something, but essentially just like the psychobilly upper bound phrase, ticks become a complete afterthought. And if I exited that first phrase with max ticks or close to it, I basically knew that I fucked up something and I wasn't going to get the first act. Ticks don't tell the whole story, especially because they don't take into consideration your whammy on the first chord and the final chord in that phrase, the green yellow that's disconnected from the previous clusterfuck. But they generally give you a pretty good idea of what your whammy might have been like if you felt like you executed properly, hitting all those transitions like on top of each other and just again trying to make it one long continuous whammy through that entire phrase. And generally my threshold for successful first acts was having between like 84 and 08, which is a really big range, but considering you're dropping either 4 to 8 between any of those chord transitions, of which there's like 5, the tick bleed can add up really fast. But again, while it doesn't tell the whole story, it does at least tell you that you're like pushing the transitions hopefully early enough to prevent dropping star power between them. And the second phrase, even though it's just the one whammy, it's just the cherry on the shit sundae. Like, trying to hit that frame perfectly, which you basically have to do half the time you get a good whammy on phrase one, you'll just throw away to run to that. And then the front end of the act really sucks because it's cramped. It's not at all like the third act front end. And as far as I know, there's no way around that. You just have to do it at the beginning of that triplet. Yeah, it's just, oh god, that act will haunt me for the rest of my fucking life. And if it were anywhere but the first act, there's no way in hell I would have contemplated finishing out this grind. And what made all this worse is I mentioned in the balls to the wall first place that my previous SG broke about halfway through this game. And so this new SG just is slightly different, where the strum switches are more sensitive and the whammy bar is less sensitive. So that made capitalizing on whammy, due to my muscle memory from the last guitar, just so much harder. There was a period when I first started hitting that first act. Again, this was like 3 weeks to a month ago at this point, where I was like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe this act is this hard. But there was actually a point that early on where I remember hitting that first act 3 runs in a row, which I don't think I've ever done since then. But then after that, I put the song down. I was just bouncing around to different stuff, trying not to just make this completely miserable. And sometime later, when I came back to this, I don't know if it was the first time since then with the new guitar, but I just could not hit that first act to save my fucking life. And it only ever so slightly got more doable over the course of, again, God knows how many attempts and runs and hours. I am relieved beyond words to never have to play that stupid fucking act again. This song is essentially the madhouse of GH80s. It's very similar overall, just the really fucking stupid, inconsistent first act with just awful chord whammy to optimize, where it just feels like completely random. And then basically in the same way, you have an incredibly difficult, obnoxious third act that follows it. But that song's last act, at least on the bigger squeeze path that I used for first place, does not even hold a candle to this song's last act. And honestly, with how much better that I am now than I was over a year ago when I did that Madhouse grind, the fact that this still took me in the same ballpark of time just shows how unbelievably hard this was. This is definitely top 5 hardest things I've done on this engine. Very, very upper echelon between both of these games. But anyway, I'm fatigued. My throat is actually hurting from that pop-off already, so I'm going to just close this chapter right now and never look back. Fuck this song to the deepest circle of hell. Holy dire my fucking ass. It's really ironic too, because like basically everyone, I love this song. And a lot of times that's like at least a little extra motivation to like push these songs as hard as I can. And just by the end, I absolutely hate them. I will never listen to this song out of free will for the rest of my life. I don't even think I'll be able to listen to the Kill Switch Engage version.